All right, hello everybody. Welcome to the Racer Roundup. Dom Santina and Matt Kosh back for another episode. Matt, how you doing?
Doing great. Dom, how about you?
Doing pretty good. Glad to be back with you all. And this week we have a special guest, hot off his podium finish in Deadwood, the 500 Skidoo, Cole Goike. Cole, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you, Dom?
Doing good. Let's
Great
get
to
into
have you,
it.
Cole.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Welcome to the podcast. Obviously, we started strong, right? I introduced it right off the podium in Deadwood. You want to talk to us kind of what you experienced in Deadwood and how cool it was to finish up on the podium there in Sport Lite?
Kind of on Friday, I started off my rounds really good. I won my first one. The second one, I jumped the start, so I had to drop in last, but I made my way all the way back up to fourth. I qualified front row, and then that day I pulled the whole shot. I was in first, and then I bobbled a little bit, kind of dropped back to fifth, and I finished in fifth on Friday. So I felt awesome. It's because Sport Lite's been a real big struggle for me. But in Shakopee, I kind of started to figure myself out, and then getting a top 5 and pulling that whole shot, it really helped me to gain confidence and get out of my own head. And then we came to it Saturday. My rounds went kind of rough. I ended up going to the LCQ. I made 15th qualifier, sorry. And then started from back row, and I kind of just had to ride through. It's a bull ring for a reason. Kind of just run and make through crashes, make around any lappers, any other people. And I made like 4 passes, and then the rest were kind of crashes. I came out of start 9th, and I just made my way to 3rd. I had literally no clue when I came up track. I thought it was like 7th. And then my cousin Kenny Goike, he was like, dude, go to tech. Then got 3rd. And I was like, oh, dude, there's no way. And we went up there, and yeah, it was awesome. I still can't believe it.
Yeah, that is awesome. What a way to get this season going.
Yeah. Especially Ironwoods. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Cole. What's up?
I was going to say, especially after Ironwood, I didn't make either of my finals in Ironwood. Not the proudest of it, but that's kind of what went down. So I had a really rough start of the season. I kind of started to doubt myself about that, but after last weekend, I'm really starting to feel confident and ready to go for the next weekend.
Yeah, that's good. It's good you're hitting your stride now, because kind of now is the long haul for the season, right? It was kind of a little bit of a slow start to the Nationals. There were only 3 races in, but 5 to go or 4 to go if you're not going to Valcourt. But there's still a lot of racing left in this season. Yeah,
I still have a lot of time. I made my way. I started the season 30th in points. Also not my proudest thing ever, but I made my way all the way up. I think I'm in 11th now, and I got a pretty good gap on 12th, or maybe it's 13th, something like that. So I made my way up quite a bit, and I want to keep pushing. I'm really hoping to make top 8. It'd be awesome if I get top 5, but I'm thinking just kind of how the season started to be a little bit tough. I'm really hoping for top 8, though.
Sure. That's good. It's good to have a goal like that set out there. That's good. Consistency is going to be the key now going forward.
Right.
Cole, you talked about it a little bit. Obviously, moving up to the Sport Lite class, what differences have you kind of seen in that adventure now that you're taking that on full time at the national level?
I want to say maybe the biggest difference is it feels like in junior 14-15, there was like the top 5 guys, and those guys were kind of on like their own game, and everyone else was kind of fighting for the rest of it. It feels like in Sport Lite, the competition is those top 5 guys is everybody. Like if you're in the back of the pack, you're still fighting fast racers. It's not really like this huge skill gap anymore where it's just like, you got like your front pack every time, your mid pack, and then your back pack. It's all even game for just about every racer. I feel like that's probably the biggest difference is you're out there fighting with everybody.
Sure. Fighting for every single position, whether it's 13th or 2nd.
Right.
So, Cole, obviously we've seen you kind of the last couple of years take steps forward at the regional level and kind of improve as you rose through the ranks. But kind of tell us, how did you get into the sport of snowcross and really start riding?
I want to say, I believe it was 5 years ago. Could be 4. I could be wrong, but I think it was 5. Our uncle Kenny asked my dad if he would ride out to South Dakota with them, just long drive, and they used to race together back when they were younger. So we ended up all going, me, my brother, Kenny, and then my uncle Kenny, and we all went to Sioux Falls 4 or 5 years ago. And ever since I watched that race, I was like, this is cool. I've never been a super dangerous kid. I've always kind of kept to myself, kind of stayed in my room, play video games. But I watched that, and it was kind of like really eye-opening to me. And I was like, man, I really want to get into something like this. Is just cool. Like, I would love to be a part of this. And then it was a year or two later, we took a just ditch banger to a snowcross race for my first race, just to try it, make sure I wasn't going to go out there and be like, oh, I don't want to do it. Instead of getting in the trailer, truck, race sled, I ended up loving it. So the next season, we got one of my cousin Kenny's old sleds, and I started racing beginner in junior 14-15, and I just started working my way up and racing full season. And then 2 years ago, started nationals, and now we're all the way up to here.
That's a fast progression, Cole. That's a pretty quick, pretty quick steps. And we've watched you. I mean, Dom and I have certainly watched from the regional side, and it's been a quick progression. It's been fun to watch.
I knew from the beginning, most of the kids I'm out there with have been racing since they were younger, like 5 to 10 years. Some of them even got, and this being my third season, I'm just trying to do everything I can to catch up. And I've just been working as much as I can, trying to perfect everything I can. And I honestly can't for sure tell you how I'm figuring myself out, but I'm just really happy I'm getting up there, and I'm not just another rider out there. I'm starting to kind of prove myself, especially to myself, out on the track.
Definitely has to help a little bit, right? I mean, you talked about, you brought him up a couple of times, your cousin Kenny racing in sport. We see, Matt and I have also watched him grow up, but how much do you kind of talk to him a little bit? Has he helped you out at all during this journey through all of this?
My cousin's definitely been a huge part of this. He's helped me to build a lot of friendships with people like Tyler, Josh, and they all three of them have been a huge part of my progression. They all have given me tips, kind of watched me ride and said, oh, you can fix this or you can change that. And it has been a huge part of it, because if I didn't have anyone that kind of knew it, I needed to change or was faster than me to push me, I probably would not be anywhere near where I am. And then not even just them, Kenny Paul's dad, Uncle Kenny, he's helped me a lot with like the mental game part, kind of just talking to me and kind of working me through a lot of things. And then he's just been a really big part of it too. So really my cousin and my uncle have helped me so much throughout the years and talking to me and getting me through part of it.
Yeah, that's great. And so who's been so you got the mental side and the riding side, like keeping your sleds dialed in? Like from what I understand, Deadwood, you're up in elevation. Who helped get your sled set up and kind of help on that? Do you do a lot of that work yourself?
The biggest contributor is my dad, 100%. Me and him are in the shop all the time. He's even in there sometimes more than I am. And he's always been a huge part of it. He always has my sled 100% ready to go. I've never really gone a weekend where he hasn't busted like his ass out in the barn, doing everything he can to get that sled 100% ready to go. So I can be, I can go out there and it's on me. It's not really, I can say, oh, the sled's not running right. It's all been 100% ready to go. And my uncle definitely helps with tips and tricks and kind of helping with my clutching every now and then. But the biggest contributor has definitely been my dad.
Okay. Wow, that's great.
Obviously, Cole, you have your cousin that you lean on, but you also have Jackson as well. How much, we've started to see him take leaps and bounds this year as well, too. How much have you kind of leaned into him and helped him kind of pass it along as well?
I feel he wouldn't admit it, but I feel like I've helped him quite a bit. Me and him have gone out there and I'll try and push him during practice, get behind him. I'll try, he'll ignore me most of the time, but I'll try and give him some tips myself. Just because I've been racing a little bit longer and I'm at a higher class. He's still in transition. There's some things that I know and I've learned that he doesn't know yet. We're still pretty relatively experienced. He's only a year behind than me. But I feel like I have helped to push him quite a bit. I don't think he'll admit that, but I think I have helped him kind of get his way up there.
As Matt was kind of saying, I think for both of you, we've kind of seen a fast progression, right? As we go through, especially as you start to move up through the ranks as you get older. And as you get older, those transitions become quicker. Like you said, junior 14, 15, now to sport light. How do you feel the progression's going, and where would you kind of like to see your riding improve maybe the rest of the season or going forward, maybe even into next year?
For this season, regionally, I'd love to catch up to Brandon Martinson and take back that championship. Come at it 2 years in a row would be great. I'd also love to get a pro light podium at the regionals once or twice. It'd be awesome. Those guys, they're insanely fast. I'm racing out there with mostly sport and the pro light guys at the nationals, and they're quick. But if I get up there, top three would be awesome. And then nationally, I kind of want to be consistently top 5, and maybe a couple more podiums would be awesome. But I'm really shooting to be consistently top 5 in my finals, 6th place. I just want to be towards the front of the pack consistently is my goal.
Okay, it's good. It's good. I mean, it seems like you got good, realistic goals set up for this year for sure. That's good.
Cole, what's kind of a lighter question, easier one to answer. What's your favorite thing about riding snowcross and everything that's involved with it?
It's honestly tough. I'm not gonna lie. I'd have to say, I think my favorite part would be getting just the big triples because I'm no better than anyone else. I still get scared to go over the bigger jumps. But those big triples, when I hit them for the first time, and I was just super nervous to go for them, kind of almost dreading it if I'm being honest. Some of them I'll get like, oh man, I really don't want to do this. But when I finally hit them and the adrenaline of it, that's got to be probably my favorite part, is kind of getting past like the mental block there and going for it.
Sure. Yeah, it's important. It's hard. It's at times that's hard to get over that. Like you've mentioned it a couple of times, get over the mental block, get out of your own head and just ride like you know how to ride. And it seems like you're starting to really figure that out.
Yeah, I'm trying to do everything I can to keep myself in the game. And that's definitely a big part for me, is that mental game.
Sure. How about like your training program or off sled? Do you do any other sports or any kind of, how do you keep yourself in shape through the winter when you're not on the sled, and in summertime? Like, what do you do to keep in shape?
In our backyard, we have it's not a legit motocross track, but it's a pretty close one for a backyard track. So the beginning of summer, I got my first bike, a 24 gas MC 250F. So nice. I've been riding that a ton. That's been basically, that was probably my favorite thing to do over the summer, and kind of figuring that out. And I honestly feel like it's helped me a lot with snowmobiles, especially kind of learning how to turn and get the sled or the dirt bike sideways in the air and in the corners, leaning, body position. All of that has kind of helped me with snowcross. I feel like coming into this season, I felt I had more control over my snowmobile than I did the season before. Mm-hmm. And then I also work, my dad has a carpentry company, and I work for them as a full-time carpenter. So doing that's kind of helped me to keep in shape a lot too. And then I do go to the gym, not as much as I should, but I have been to the gym, trying to stay active too, kind of working out at home sometimes too.
So, Cole, obviously we're here to kind of build up and promote you guys at the regional and national level, and we don't do this very often, but who are a few of your sponsors that kind of help you out throughout the season that you might want to give a shout out to while you got the time?
I'd have to say the ones that have helped me a lot the most would definitely be Ski-Doo, D's Marines, Northern Power Race Park, Ashley Photography. I definitely say Rocks. The products that they give out, the grips and all that is a huge part. CNA Pro Skis, Fly. Who else am I missing? Mid-thumb contracting, Farrell contracting, Semmel Performance, Farrell contracting, and anyone else I forgot. And really every sponsor has been a huge part of it, between just, even if they just give me a discount on products that they sell, between cash sponsorships. It's been a huge deal to help pay for the racing and make it cheaper and make sure I'm out there 100% ready to go. My sled's out there 100% ready to go. Every sponsor has been huge this season so far.
That's great. Everybody helps, right? You know,
Right. Yeah. There's definitely no one that hasn't helped yet.
Cool. Matt, is there anything else you wanted to add in to Cole here before we kind of get ready to wrap things up?
No, it's been fun to watch. You kind of, again, a quick progression, Cole. It's been fun to watch. You're exciting to watch, that's for sure. You provide a lot of excitement on track. I mean, you can tell you're gritty. You can tell you're wanting to progress and improve. And I mean, I see you're not afraid to hang it out, and you've had some incredible rides, incredible saves on some things that were pretty impressive.
Thank you. I've definitely had my moments. There's been a couple at Northern Power, especially. I've had a couple close moments.
Oh yeah, we've seen them. You're gonna make a highlight reel here pretty soon.
Dude, I'd love to see that. If you guys got that.
Well, I definitely can say that the Goike pipeline is pretty good when it comes to snowcross racing with your cousin Kenny, you, and now especially seeing Jackson start to make some of the same progressions and start to improve his racing. Definitely a family to watch, and it's cool for you guys to all be involved. I know you said your dad and your uncle had some previous experience with it, but it's cool for you guys all to be around the track and kind of doing it all together and seeing you all three have success at a regional level and also at a national level as well. So,
yeah,
all right,
it's been awesome.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I was just saying, it's been awesome. I'm really happy that I'm able to make my way up the ranks the best I can in the shortest amount of time that I've had. So it's been awesome. I'm really proud to be where I'm at.
Well, obviously we got another round of regional racing coming up at Northern Power. Cole, we typically see you guys there, so we'll be excited to see you guys back at the track. Matt, any words? I guess, guys, what do you think? I wasn't there. What do you think of the bull ring at Northern Power?
I liked it. It did feel like it was a little bit slower than Deadwood. But other than that, it was fun. I really liked the rhythm section before that finish line. It developed a lot of lines, and you kind of, throughout the race especially, you had to find different lines. What did you think of it, Matt?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. It was something different, unique. Certainly changed up the racing a little bit. You had to be a little bit more aggressive. Try to get down and turn some of those tight corners. Try to get the sled up on its side a little bit. It was fun. It was a fun change of pace. Just to be put in kind of that smaller, tighter, more confined racing. It was exciting. It was fun. I wouldn't want to race a bull ring every weekend, but for a one-off, it was a good time, and it's fun to watch the Deadwood bull ring. As a spectator watching online. I've never raced out there. Obviously, you've been there now and done it in real life, Cole. But it seems like for a one-off, for a one race weekend, it seems like a pretty cool event.
Cole, I wanted to ask too, what do you think? A little bit of a change with all the right-handers there in Deadwood too. What do you think of having to kind of go clockwise around the track instead of our typical left-hand turns?
It definitely wasn't my favorite thing. I got arm pump way faster than I normally do, but I felt my corners were still really quick, especially compared to some riders and the right-handers. So I felt like in the end it kind of helped me out. I felt good through them, and then just the way that the snow, it was like how Amsel described it, was like mashed potato-y is what they said. It was super. It wasn't sticky, but it was super wet. And it was sugar, like it was a wet sugar, and the corners kind of built up high, and it was interesting. But the right-handers, I felt like worked out for the end pretty well for me.
Yeah, that's good. It's interesting how much that does tire you out turning right. How much of a change that is, trying to get the sled pivoted around on the right side. How much more challenging that is.
I definitely got arm pumped twice as fast. I came off and it was. I didn't feel like on the track, but the moment the race was over, I was like, oh wow, all right, this burns.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap us up here for this episode. Cole, we appreciate you coming on. We wish you all the best at the regional level and the national level, and we'll be following along and trying to promote you as much as we can.
Thank you guys so much for the opportunity. It means so much to me.
All right, cool. Thanks for coming on, Cole. We'll hope to see you this weekend.
Yeah, we'll see you guys this weekend.
All right.
All right.
Take care.
Take care.